All right, Jordan. We talked about Virginia Tech. We gave a little preview, talked about the keys to the game a bit. Now it's time to make the picks. It's time to talk about the spread and see how we perceive this game going. So let me make sure the spread hasn't changed here.
Yeah, I completely forgot. Was it sitting at 6.5?
Yeah, so it opened up at 6.5. It is still currently at 6.5. So Clemson minus 6.5. Over under for the game is 53.5. Well, it opened up at 53.5, down to 52.5. So over under 52.5. The spread is Clemson minus 6. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, been kind of going back and forth. Not in terms of how I feel about this game, but I think I settled on I think this team is going to come out with a little bit more of a. I think you and I are both in agreement that this team is going to come out with some fire. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it'll be the most clean football game that they've played this year, but I definitely think that things won't be as disastrous in all three phases as you saw this past weekend. And I think there's a path to covering and winning, but I just it's so hard for me to pick this team to do that because they have not passed that test in either of the games that we've talked about.
Yeah.
So I mean I think Clemson comes out and wins. They play. It's not a perfect clean effort, but they do clean some of the things up that they were absolutely dreadful at on Saturday. I'm going to go Clemson 35, Virginia Tech 24. I think Virginia Tech is going to create some plays because this defense is what it is. It is what it is. But I do think they'll be a little bit better in stopping the run. And that should be enough to at least get off the field more than you did on Saturday. But I think Virginia Tech is going to score some points because at this point, I feel like this defense is what it is. They're just they don't have they are not, especially with the injuries that you're going to be dealing with on Saturday. It's just hard for me to pick them to have a really complete effort. So yeah, I'm gonna say 35-24 Clemson. But I think it's a competitive football game. Virginia Tech they're going to be rocking. That stadium is going to be rocking. Virginia Tech is one of the last teams in the ACC that Dabo Swinney has not lost to. Maybe I shouldn't mention that, but knock on wood. I think it's them, Wake Forest, and I think that's it. I think those are the only two teams left in the ACC that Dabo has not lost to. No, he hasn't lost to Boston College either. I think Boston College.
No, he hasn't lost to Boston College. Almost, but hasn't.
Yeah, he's had a couple of close ones.
Had a couple of scares, but not quite got there. Boston College creeped up a couple times. Yeah, so really how I see this game going is, I think Virginia Tech's going to score some points. I just don't trust this Clemson team right now. I really don't. I think they're going to come out with a much more spirited effort, but I think it's going to be a close game. I'm going to go under 52.5, and I'm going to pick Virginia Tech to cover the spread. So I'll go 28-24. Clemson wins. So still picking Clemson to win, but a pretty close game. Obviously, 4-point game, just under that over-under of 52.5. Get you with the hook there, if you will. And obviously, Virginia Tech covers by keeping it within 4. This is a team that's played, Miami very close. They got a couple overtime losses. They're definitely a team capable of putting up some points and hanging with the Tigers. And I just don't know. I don't feel comfortable picking Clemson to cover any spread. I know 6.5 is not that many points, but at the end of the day. I just don't trust our run defense enough right now. I'd like to see what kind of adjustments they're going to make, whether they're going to bring in a third linebacker, what the thought process is there with not being able to set the edge, not being able to tackle as well as you're supposed to, not being able to fit those gaps like you need to. And it's been a thing that's been going on all season. It wasn't just the Louisville game. It just looked a whole lot worse in that game. But with that said, we'll see how this Clemson Tiger teams respond. We're definitely going to find out how bought in they still are. We're going to find out what this team's made of. I think it's going to be important for, predicting the rest of the season going forward, seeing how they come out against this Virginia Tech team. So certainly a lot of questions will be answered for either the positive or the negative, I guess, as far as how this team is responding comes out.
And our predictions feel like shots in the dark. Like if I had to put a confidence grade on a 35-24 Clemson victory, like I'm definitely on the more positive side based on what we've seen.
Yeah.
But I'm going off gut. Like it's hard for me to see this team playing that bad 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
But we don't know. We don't know. So if I had to put a confidence score on it, it's probably like a 3.
Yeah.
3 or 4 at best. So I mean, this is a game this team could easily lose.
I'm a 2. I'm a 2 at best with my predictions for Clemson right now, because I don't know. I just don't know. Like I have zero confidence right now in what version of the Clemson Tigers is going to show up, right? And I believe Virginia Tech's going to come in here and try to get one. So I hope Clemson pulls out the win, but it would not surprise me if Clemson drops another game this Saturday. It just wouldn't. It would not. Hopefully that doesn't happen and our score predictions hold up, Jordan. Almost done with the show tonight, guys. We are coming to a close here soon. Keep in mind, guys, we do the All-In Show here every Wednesday, 8 p.m., right here on Clemson Football at the Voice of College Football. We also do a post-game live reaction to each and every Clemson game immediately following the games on Saturdays. So while you're in here in the live chat, please go ahead and hit that like button for us. It really helps us out, and it just takes you a second. And then consider subscribing to the channel. If you're new here, if you're a Virginia Tech fan, hey, we welcome you in here. You can stick around. You don't just have to be here for the Virginia Tech week. We welcome you year-round here. We do this show every single week. Excuse me, year-round. Like I said, there's no off-season around here. We talk college football year-round. And in the quote-unquote off-season, the part of the year where we're not playing games, we'll sprinkle in a couple other Clemson sports in there that we'll talk a little bit, but mainly Clemson football here on the channel and college football as a whole. All right, Jordan. BYOG or sell, the fan favorite segment. We'll go ahead and end the show with the BYOG or sell. We'll give one apiece, and then we'll turn it over to the comment section, see what they got for BYOG or sell, and then we will turn it over and chop it up with the comment section for a little bit, and then get on out of here.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right. So BYOG or sell. I'm going to go a Phil Maffa stat because I feel like this game should be Phil Maffa heavy. So I'm going to go Phil Maffa. $150.
Ooh, 150. He hit 170 this past weekend.
He did hit 170. He's only been under 100 yards twice this season.
Oof. Man, 150. That's a high number.
It is a high number. It is a high number.
You are going if my hunch is correct that Virginia Tech is going to try to I'm really interested to see how they play this because they might have the mentality that they're going to sell out to stop the run.
Could be.
So there are some. I did mention like maybe they take from the Louisville game plan, but on the other hand, they could also just try to stack the box and try to
let you run the ball. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna sell.
Okay.
I'm gonna sell because on 150 is a lot, but I think he's going. He's going to get. I feel pretty confident in him hitting 100 plus.
Yeah.
But 150, it's like okay, he's probably gonna need an explosive run here or there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much do you run K Klubnik this weekend. We'll see. All of that factors in, and of course, how you factor in your other backs, Jay Haynes, Keith Adams Jr. So I'm not really. I think the potential is there, but I'm going to sell because I don't feel comfortable going that a number that high.
Yeah, it is a pretty high number.
It's hard to hit any week, but
yeah, I'm going to sell as well. I don't know that he quite gets to the 150 number like you. I do think he gets over that 100-yard mark because I do think Clemson's going to try to run the ball early and often in this game. At least that's what I think they should do. We'll see, and it'll also determine how Virginia Tech is playing them. But I will sell on the 150 as well.
All right, BYOG or sell. Clemson special teams does not surrender a long punt return or a long return, a block kick, or really just those two. Clemson special teams does not surrender a block kick or give up a big return. And I guess by big return, I'd say like 20 plus.
20 plus, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm selling. I have zero faith. Like I would love to buy, but I'm selling. I got zero faith in this Clemson special teams. It's just a matter of what mistake they're going to make this weekend on special teams. That's where I'm at. I hope we don't have to kick field goals this weekend because if we do, I feel certain that Virginia Tech's going to block it. They're gonna hone the long loss Beamer ball and freaking block a kick if we have to kick one this week. So I will sell.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. It sucks, but they have, and Virginia Tech is a team. They pride themselves on, historically, they've been a team that prides themselves on special teams, especially under Frank Beamer. I haven't actually looked at their special team statistics, so that is something I probably should have done before the show. Look at me, all prepared. But honestly, it hasn't really mattered because teams, how good the special teams you're facing is.
Yeah. If you don't have a good special teams, don't worry, just play Clemson.
Yeah,
it'll get better.
Oh man! All right.
All right, let's get a couple BYOGs from the comment section, and then we will move on to regular comments.
Let's do it. Let's see. We got one from Isaac Smith. He says, Isaac Smith says, BYOG or sell. We have one more field goal get blocked this year. Well, I'm BYOG on that one.
I'm buying. I'd put money on it. We get another field goal block this year.
Yeah.
I would put money on it. If that's a prop bet somewhere, somebody should bet that.
I don't know how many sports books offer that, but that would be.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know if any of them do, but if they do, you should go put some money on that.
Yeah,
they're definitely getting a kick blocked in the next 4 games.
Jay has one. He says BYOG or sell. Clemson gets 2+ sacks on Saturday. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
I can't trust this pass rush. You're facing a mobile quarterback. He's elusive, and they use him a lot. They're also a run-first offense. They're not going to do a whole lot of.
Peter Woods might play, but he's banged up. Monte K part's out. Trey Williams is going to play, but he's probably banged up as well.
I mean, if it's not TJ getting to the quarterback,
yeah,
I mean, I don't know who
TJ
to.
Parker a bust at that point. I think,
Yeah,
unless they bring a corner blitz or
yeah,
something like that, it's probably TJ Parker a bust.
and Kyron Drones is just
Unless they go
he's
to
a
a
guy.
3 linebacker look and bring Sammy Brown,
Yeah,
he'll get a sack.
he's
I don't
been a
know.
good when we've given him opportunities to rush the passer, he's looked pretty good.
Yeah.
So, but
Which that'll be interesting with Shelton Lewis being out and him playing nickel so much this year. It'll be interesting to see if they go to a 3 linebacker look because of that. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do.
potentially, I wouldn't hate it.
It'd be something different to try.
Mm-hmm. John says, but BYG or sell, Stellato will be a big factor in the Virginia Tech game. He should have had a better game against Louisville than he did. I'll buy.
What he has. Let me look.
I just I don't know. You started Wesco, you started TJ, you started Antonio. This past week. I think, especially with Bryant and TJ, I think they had a couple of. They have times where they don't get open, and it is really, I think it's because of their release. They're still not all the way technically refined in some areas, and with Bryant, sometimes it's especially when teams are playing press man, when they get a hand on him, he's not really going anywhere because he's not very big and physical yet. TJ had some opportunities, man. He should have had a touchdown. He could have had not a touchdown, but a big pass down the sideline. A big play.
He had some drops. He had some drops in the game. Jake Brimstool had some drops in the game.
Man, Jake was oh god,
he was bad. He was bad.
Was his worst game of the year.
That was a bad game. But yeah, I'll buy that because Troy Stellato only had 2 catches for 12 yards. Yeah. I think he does more than that this weekend.
So. He did put out a hourglass tweet a few days ago that he deleted for. I happened to see it for a couple of moments. I don't know what it means, but that was
Stellato did.
Yeah, he did.
Oh boy. I don't like that.
I don't know what it means, but as far as I know, he's still practicing, still working with the team, but
that would not be good.
Yeah. All right. Last BYG or sell, and then we'll go to regular questions. Isaac says, BYG or sell. Sammy makes his first start on Saturday. I'm assuming Sammy Brown. Sell. They're going to start Barrett and Wade. They're the most experienced, even if they're not always playing the best. I'm selling on that. Sammy has really he hasn't really logged more than 20 snaps all season.
Yeah, look, unless they're going to a 3-linebacker set, he's not starting.
Yeah, and I don't expect. I don't expect them to. I don't know what changes Wes is going to make. I don't know, but
something's got to change.
Something's got to try
something different because it's not working right now. It's just not. You're getting gashed far too often. Like you gotta schematically, you gotta try something different because clearly what you're trying to do, the current personnel you have is just not executing it right now. So.
And one thing that I've been really frustrated with is I feel like you haven't been utilizing Barrett Carter the way that you have in previous years. I mean, obviously part of that is him stepping it. Like he has not gotten the opportunities to rush the passer that he did as a freshman, sophomore, and junior. Especially his sophomore and junior years. Like
there's big portions of games that like he just feels like a non-factor.
Yeah,
like, you don't even notice him on the field.
Give him an opportunity to get after the quarterback. Like it feels like he's always like in coverage.
Yeah,
or like I don't know. Let him play. They need to find ways to let these linebackers play more free because I think they're just not. They're lost. They're overthinking. They're slow in their reads. Like they need to find both Carter and Wade Woodaz were both at their best when they were just kind of flying around the field and making plays. But it feels like they haven't, especially with Eric Carter. He just hasn't been able to do that.
Those two looked way better last year than they do this year. I don't know.